Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing chocolate Nubian testicles. Just make sure it's working here. Let's get some music as I get this thing started. Oh yeah. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right. Boom shakalaka, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy, the one and only Chris Yule, aka the esoteric noetic, aka, say it with me, the chocolate Nubian sobrada from Ghana, West Africa. I drop my wisdomatic truth bombs here in Melbourne, Australia. Well, currently I am in the Gold Coast. Now I'm traveling around the world at the moment. You never know where I might be. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. Click on the bell. Tell your friends. Tell your momos. Drop us those cryptocurrencies. You know what it is. Oh, it feels good. I am out here at Surface Paradise. I'm loving it. I feel the rays, the sunshine. Oh, I've been working on my tan, ladies and gentlemen. It feels good. And I wanted to keep you guys apprised of what I've been up to. Now, truth is, I did want to leave this country. I was actually planning to get out of here, but it seems the universe has been trying to keep me in Australia, mate. I mean, first of all, I was going to go to Ghana, but 2 days before my flight, the Ghanaians, they decided to restrict anyone that was not taking the boom shakalaka. And I found myself not able to go there. And then I also wanted to go to Europe. I was actually planning to go there and do some work. Of course, I was going legitimately. I'll have an exemption, you see. But just a few days before my flight, in fact, just as I was at the airport, I found out that they had changed the restrictions a few days prior, and they weren't allowing anyone in, unless, of course, they were nationals. Even if you'd taken the boom shakalaka, they weren't allowing anyone from Australia. We were now on a red list. So this is the nature of things, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like what's going on in the world right now, wait a couple of minutes and it'll probably change. Well, it's not going to change anytime soon, but I will tell you this. We have been seeing things change. There are a lot of people that have been saying that nothing's going to change. There's no point fighting this thing. This is the path of the cynic. The people that tell you that, look, slavery's been around forever. There's no point trying to change it. The people that tell you. But then, of course, there are those people like you, the misfits, the truth seekers, the believers, those that plant themselves like a tree beside the river truth and say nay to the tyranny, the movers of this world that have actually been changing things, despite what all the negative critics have been saying. Every single effort has an impact. The conversations you've been having with your friends, the posts that you've been making, as annoying as they are, the protests that you've been going to. People tell me the protests don't work. Well, they do. Everything shifts. The mindset has an impact on the morphic resonant field of the planet. And slowly, maybe not tangibly to everyone, but it all makes an impact. And eventually, over time, every single little thing that you do, it collectively changes the tide. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we've seen such a pushback. Do you think this would have happened if people weren't fighting, if people were not trying to get this information despite the suppression within the media? Well, ladies and gentlemen, because of the efforts of many, now we are seeing a pushback. Now, many countries like Turkey, Brazil, Britain, Sweden, Spain, the Czech Republic, Mexico, El Salvador, Japan, Singapore have done a 180 degree and have decided to recognize the boom shakalaka, the juice. Well, well, look, let's just say that when it comes to the restrictions, they've taken a 180 degree turn, and they're no longer recognizing what's going on as being a great threat. But of course, I personally think it is very serious, and we need to take this thing very seriously. Of course, I'm on YouTube. Interestingly enough, Australia are still going forward with their agenda. We're still doing the restrictions, we're still doing the lockdowns, and we are still pushing this. You must take this experimental gene therapy, otherwise you will not be allowed to work. Now, I could go into that a lot, but I'm not going to, as I'm broadcasting this on the tubes. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know what's going on. And look, your efforts are being felt. They're having real world implications. And I think in a decade from now, we're going to be looking back on what has happened in the same way that many of us look back on the 1930s in Germany. And I'm going to be calling all of you guys Momos that went along with this. Went along with this knowing that the government was advocating for human rights violations, was advocating for forcing people, coercing people to undergo the juice that was restricting people of their unalienable rights. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am all for love, working together, prosperity, sharing, and caring. I'm like Russell Brand. I think it's quite fascinating. Really. I think we all need to work together as one, bring about an effervescence of consciousness where we can all unite and believe that we are one and truth can truly be discovered. It's quite fascinating, really, isn't it? But ladies and gentlemen, I am not a Momo. As much as I believe in working together as one, I do not believe in violating people's human rights. I do not believe in coercion. I do not believe in violations of the Nuremberg Code, bioethical violations, disregard for the common law, the natural law. I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. People that want to force people to do things because they think it's a good idea when they are not directly harming anyone in the process. And don't be playing this game where you're like, oh, you're hurting people by not getting the boom shakalaka. It's not the same thing. Stop being a Momo. People that advocate for that kind of stuff, well, I'm going to call a spade a spade. You are a Momo. You're not a very good person. What's more, you are, well, I could say a lot of things about you, bro. But more importantly, history is not going to favor you. You are on the wrong side of history, and you need to wake the fuck up and check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because what is going on right now is unequivocally, unassailably disgusting. I don't care if one person or a million people does it. It's wrong. You can't force people to do this kind of stuff. These governments that are pretending that they somehow have the right to determine whether or not you can leave your home, that your unalienable God-given rights are determined by the state. I mean, what is this? Is this some kind of communist worldview? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not down with that. Communism is not cool. Not the kind of communism that is all about centralized power, takes away your unalienable rights and tries to force you to do shit for the greater good. That stuff is just another word for evil. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about what's been going on in my world. Now, I have been busy making podcasts. If you were on my Patreon, you would have gotten early access. I did an amazing podcast with Kenny Palertano, an amazing traveling anarchist, something that I have recently become as of late. I'm traveling around Australia, mate, currently in the Gold Coast. Who knows where I might be next? I might be in Byron Bay. I might be out of the country. Or I might be back in my hometown, Ghana. I might sneak there, even though they won't allow me in unless I take the boom shakalaka. Of course, I may or may not have taken the boom shakalaka. You don't know. I'm a transvestite. I identify that I've taken this thing. Anyway, I digress. I have been traveling and I've been keeping busy making podcasts. I've done some interviews. I did one with Kenny. I've done another one recently with my fellow chocolate Nubian, Jimufi, which will be seen on the interwebs in due time, where we cover the ins and outs of just trying to travel in this world and a lot of the programming that is going on. getting people to buy into these ridiculous ideologies. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to talk about, a couple of other things actually, is first and foremost, yours truly, the chocolate Nubian sobrada from Ghana, West Africa. Now, I have been busy working on a new book. Hell, what am I talking about? It's not like I'm an author or something. I'm a musician. I'm a singer. I'm an entertainer. In fact, I've never written a book officially before. This is my first book that I've been working on. Just a short collection of from the Nubian etheric world. I like that. I just came up with that. The Nubian etheric world. And I've been writing about maximizing your potential as a human being, opening your heart, opening this thing over here, the anahata, the heart chakra. You know, a lot of people think that living your life is all about finding love. It's all about love, they say. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about love. It's not about finding love. It's about breaking the barriers that prevent you from expressing love. It's about becoming fuller so that you can allow the love to flow through you. Love is a product of life. It is everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. All we need to do is open ourselves up to it, and it shall flow through us. Open up these floodgates. And essentially, I'm speaking about ahimsa, true love, non-violence. This is what it's all about, uplifting the vibration of the planet. And I'm going to be talking about one of the most important topics to me, which is the way that we treat the fellow earthlings that we share this planet with. You know, a lot of people have love, but they haven't extended this love towards more than their few friends and their family. It's like, I like you because you look like me, but you're a blackie. Yeah, I don't like people like you. I don't have any love for you. At least this is what they were doing a few hundred years ago, right? Towards the treatment of the African slaves. And we've done this in many different ways throughout history. Did this with the not just slavery amongst many different races and so forth, but we've done this. This has been the history of the planet. Oh, I'm going to warn you because you look different to me. Oh, I'm going to warn you because you have a different religion to me. But it's all about casting a wider net and allowing that love to express itself through you to all the animals as well that we share this planet with. So essentially, it's going to be about expanding your consciousness, but specifically about following a vegan, vegetarian diet, the consequences that has on the planet and so forth. I'm going to be speaking about some other tangential issues. So stay posted. I don't know when it's probably going to be done in the next few days, but I don't know when I'm going to be releasing that. So if you stay up to date, if you follow us on the Patreon, you will get some very up-to-date information on what's going on there. Also, I want to talk about something that is very important to me because I'm a young, virile, thriving brother from another mother. And I think it's very important to all the people out there, whether you're a brother or a Momo, a woman or a man. And that is dating. That is sex, yo. It's all about the intimacy, all about the beautiful relationships you form with the opposite sex or same sex if you're into that kind of thing. You know, I don't discriminate. But I want to talk about dating. One of the interesting things that's been going on throughout this whole pandemic is we've seen an effort to prevent people from gaining access to, well, mates, to girls, to guys, unless, of course, they've taken the boom shakalaka. You guys have seen it. You've seen this on social media, no doubt, if you've been on Tinder, on Hinge. Now, I don't use these dating apps, of course. I don't need to use them. No, the Chocolate Nubian has been on these apps. And it's fascinating to me how the algorithm now is restricting people that have not taken the jab. I mean, this is a concerted effort that has been orchestrated by government, along with many of these organizations. And we are seeing, even within the social world, offline, a concerted effort to denigrate the purebloods, the anti-waxers, because you're very naughty. How dare you not take the juice? How dare you? You are putting people's lives at risk. I mean, we're all in this together, mate. And the only way that we can be all in this together if we're all doing the same thing. If anyone wants to do anything different, well, you're not being all in this together with us, and we need to punish you. We need to get you to conform. And what I'm finding interesting is that whereas this is supposed to be a way of incentivizing people to get the jab right, because if you can't date, if you can't go out and meet the opposite sex, which is something that is on the minds of, well, many people, you know, I mean, one of the foremost things we do in this world is we have relations, we have sexual relations. And it's evident that obviously this has been used in order to incentivize people to get the jab. Unless, of course, you get the jab, you're not going to be able to participate. You're not going to be even able to have babies. Well, actually, I'd say you'd probably be more likely to do that if you haven't taken the book. Anyway, let's not go there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am keeping my babies pure-blooded. I'm telling you, in a few years from now, my Jesus juice is going to be worth a fortune. The price of white gold is going up the roof. Forget Bitcoin, baby. Forget the Bitcoin. Forget that Ethereum. Forget that Litecoin. Forget all your cryptocurrencies out there. Bitcoin SV. I'm going with the white gold. It's going to be worth a fortune. But anyway, I digress. I am finding that, strangely enough, it's actually become easier to find people that have your similar views. I mean, what's happened now is that the society has been polarized. There is a whole section of the community that are not going along with the narrative, that don't want to get the juice. And those that have not gotten the juice, they're looking for thriving, virile chocolate Nubians now. They're looking for people that are on the same wavelength. I mean, the amount of girls that I've heard openly tell me, you know, offline and online, that they don't want to be around anyone unless, of course, they haven't had the juice, is unbelievable. And that makes those that are in the I haven't taken the juice camp, well, you guys are becoming the most eligible bachelors in the world. So despite the efforts of the cabal, of the corporations and governmentals, we're actually seeing a situation where it's actually become a lot easier to find people that are matched for you. I mean, one of the beautiful things about this world is that just by virtue of being, you attract the right kind of people into your space. Often we feel as if people leave us, but they don't really leave us. They just vibrate on a different frequency, and we no longer match their frequency. And therefore, I mean, I'm a musician, take it from me. When two vibrational energies, two frequencies don't resonate, you get disharmony, you get discord. What you want is harmony, ladies and gentlemen. You want a frequency here that meets you here. You come together and it's like, oh, it just resonates. That's what you want. And you find that it's become a lot easier to resonate with the right kind of people to you, because the people that are being momos, you know who you are, that have drunken the Kool-Aid, well, it's become very difficult to be around them. That's what I'm finding. And look, I'm a chameleon. I'm the kind of person that can pretend to enjoy being around anyone. And truly, I actually enjoy being around people. Just generally speaking, I like being around people that are completely different to me. That being said, because this issue is so important to me and is having such a detrimental impact on so many people, I'm finding that what is going on right now is the kind of thing that I can't pretend to be something else around. And when I'm finding there are people that don't want to talk about this topic or are completely in favor of having these anti-waxes forced to comply, well, sorry, mate, we don't get along. And I'm finding that as a result, I can't hang out with these people. And the good thing is it's drawing a lot of people that do have the right kind of energy to me. So I've become like a mecca for all the freaks, all the misfits, all the Aquarians, all the chocolate Nubians. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's painful, guys, having people that you care about, that you love, that you can't be real with, you can't open up to, because they don't want to talk about this stuff, or they want to be momos. It's been one of the most difficult things I think I've had to deal with in a long time. But it's one of the aspects of life, you know, regardless of what filial bonds you have with people, regardless of the friendships that you formed. I mean, we're constantly changing. It's the only constant in life, right? People change, and sometimes you don't vibrate on the same frequency. And The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. You have to find people that share your views, your values, and being around them creates this positive feeling within your body, makes them light up. You know that feeling you get when someone wants to be around you? You can see it in their eyes, like you see a dog and they light up. They're like, they just show their love without even trying. They're the kind of people you want to be around. And you have to gravitate towards those kind of people, ladies and gentlemen. So when it comes to dating, be who you are. Be open, be bold about your boom shakalaka status. Or don't. I can't tell you what to do. Sometimes it's actually prudent not to disclose that stuff, all right? For obvious reasons. But you'll find that you will draw the right kind of people into your world. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, finally, I wanted to talk about a speech that I came across that made me laugh so hard. So Justin Trudeau, the Momo, gave a speech recently branding all the anti-vaxxers, all the naughty Canadians that had gone to this protest, all the convoy of trucks that had banded together, called them a bunch of, well, I can't remember what he called them, but it definitely wasn't a very pleasant thing. Essentially, created this narrative that these people are advocating for violence. They're all about hate speech. They're all about disregarding the laws. You know, these people don't actually represent the Canadian people. And whereas it may be true that the majority of Canadians are not in favor of anti-vaxxers, and let's be clear, these are people that believe in human rights, that don't believe in coercion. We somehow play the sleight of hand and we change the definition. Whereas that may be true, the truth remains the truth regardless of how many people support it. And it doesn't matter if the majority of Americans think that forcing people to be inoculated with something for the greater good is acceptable. It's fundamentally wrong. And it's just the irony of things. We're hearing Trudeau speak about freedom and speak about violence when the actual perpetrators of violence are, well, the pro-advocates of the gene therapy. Trudeau, someone that is essentially saying that he's going to use the power of the state to restrict people from leaving the country, from entering into establishments with consenting individuals or businesses that want to have them come in. He's going to restrict them from doing that because he wants to keep you safe, wants to take away people's fundamental human rights, and calls anyone that is standing for human rights, well, a naughty person, racist, sexist. I mean, these are the go-to phrases of a lot of these momos. Let's just brand you as something that we collectively deem as being a bad thing arbitrarily, because then we can pigeonhole you into the kind of person that we can attack now, because we know that what we're doing is wrong, but because we're doing it to you, you're an anti-vaxxer, you're a lesser person. It's not that bad anymore. And this is what we've always done throughout the ages, right? We cast this attitude onto the people that we don't like. We deem them as being less than human, 3/5 human. That's what it was a couple of hundred years ago. Or as lesser people, they're slaves. Or as cattle. They're just animals. We can do what we want to them. It doesn't matter. And then it becomes easier for us to do things that we know within our gut. I've got intellect, this thing over here. Oh, you can't see my belly, but I'm pointing to my belly, ladies and gentlemen. We just feel it's wrong, but we do it nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, brothers and sisters around the world, remember there are 3 things that cannot remain hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the wisdomatic truth bombs of the chocolate Nubian soul brother. This is evident in what's going on right now around the world. I mean, the truth is coming out. People are changing. You know, I mean, I often get a lot of flack for speaking about a lot of negative things that are going on in the world. But in order to bring about the light, you need to cast the light onto the darkness. You need to illuminate your minds with wisdom. You need to speak about horrible things that are going on in the world so you can wake up to them. You can fight the injustice, and then You can awaken the light. That's how you get to the light, not by pretending it doesn't exist. So, ladies and gentlemen, let that be a reminder to you. Strive to be a wisdomatic truth bomber, but strive to be a happy, healthy person, someone that is able to manifest the light, the joy, the silliness, make people smile when they're in your presence, and then they'll be more likely to open up to the truth. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out the Patreon if you want to keep up to date with what has been going on. I've got some links below. You can follow us on Patreon. You can follow us on the Spotify's. I got a podcast. I also got my music out. I'm going to be releasing some music this year, focusing more on my music. I've had a vocal condition over the last couple of years, but I'm back to my singing form again. So watch out, stay tuned. You can find all my stuff on chrisshul.com, and strive to be the best that you can be in all things. You can never be more. You can never be less. Peace be upon your butt cheeks. Peace in the Middle East. Surya Namaskar. Namaste. Signing out, Chris Shul.